Hey, welcome to the Team Babe podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm Babe.
And I'm Robin, and I'm Babe.
Howdy, Babe.
How to do?
Well, we thought we would just get right into it this week.
Wow.
This is episode 6 of the COVID-19 mixtape.
That's
Overall, episode 47.
Got it.
And it's raw, and it's wild, and it's coming at you.
It's real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had to put my face on at 7 p.m. so that I could be camera ready for this.
I had to take a shower and brush my teeth and shave at, what was that, about 5:30 p.m.?
Yeah.
I got kind of a late start today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a little bit of a late start on getting ready for this today. Yeah.
Anyway, we're holding it together, and we hope that you're also holding it together. It's been a flurry of activity. There's been COVIDs, there's been solo vids, there's been Zoom meetings. I mean, so much has happened since the last time that we came into your homes, into your lives, into your psyches. But I don't know. We're just doing the damn thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is what put together looks like for us right now. I mean, I
You
feel
mean wonderful?
I mean, like, I didn't brush my
Amazing?
hair today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your teeth, and I was going to fucking bust you so hard.
I brushed my teeth. Yes. Yeah. No, that was you.
Every day.
Yeah, I brush every day. You sometimes, but I have to say that
I brush my teeth every day, like eventually.
Yeah, eventually. It might be midnight, but you'll get it done. You know what I mean?
Are you really going to put me on blast right now?
You know it. So, but I have to say, you've been showering and shaving, like repeatedly, day after day, like for several days.
I'm on a 3-day streak here.
I mean,
today it came a little late. There was a little snafu with the lights out time last night. There was a little.
Damn
there was a little snafu there. There was a little snafu waking up.
Do you want to elaborate on the snafu? Like, do you want to
Sure.
It's real life.
I mean, you already put me on blast. So.
I'm gonna put you on blast.
Okay.
Pretty much on the regular.
Okay.
So, yeah.
This is how it goes now. This is life.
This is nothing new.
This is your life on COVID. I got so scared. I actually got scared last night of COVID.
Why?
Because we were watching an episode of Kill Tony, the quarantine episodes.
Yeah.
And there was this lady on who has like some sort of like immune deficiency stuff who got the COVID.
Yeah.
And then she'd been quarantined, like legit quarantined for 4 weeks.
Right.
And she was like, I don't know. That was like the worst. I felt like I wanted to die. And so I was thinking about it. And I was like, I don't know if I'm strong enough. If I get the COVID, when I get the COVID, because I think it's inevitable at this point, probably, right? That's what they'd have us believe, unless they come up with
just wait
a
it
vaccine,
out till the vaccine,
or
right?
some kind of some other treatments or whatever. Like you just got to wait it out. They have some treatments, I guess, that are proving to be. They're having some effectiveness or whatever.
But is the moral to the story that if you have to be in quarantine for 4 weeks, you're going to lose your shit?
Well, what it did was it made me remember like when I got like the flu, like legit flu for the first time.
The first time?
Like, I think I'd had the flu before or whatever, but it was just like, it was mainly like stomach flu.
Oh.
But the first time that I got like legit flu, like I think it was maybe, I don't know how I avoided it for this long, but where I had the fever and the body aches and like the dementia and the
Are you talking about when we all got sick?
It was like in 2008 maybe.
Yeah. That
right around my birthday.
That was really crazy.
Yeah.
That was, we all 4 of us as a family got sick at the exact same time.
Right.
So the kids were like, Charlie wasn't even 2, so Charlie was a baby. And Morgan was 7 or something. And so we would have been under 30 at that time.
Yeah. Just a couple of pups.
And that
Did we all get sick?
Yes.
But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I got the sickest.
Oh, no.
That time?
No.
Because like it legitimately was like, I understand now, like what actually getting the flu and being sick is like. Because I was like, I don't know how long I can do this. You know, like I was seriously like,
that was a bad one.
How long is this going to last?
That was a bad one. Charlie, who was under 2, had 105 fever for 7 days. Like, I was on the phone with the doctor like every other day.
Right. Yeah. It was like a emergency room almost time.
I got to say, if you can live through having the flu and also taking care of an infant that has the flu and you both survive, you can do it again without an infant and be okay.
Don't tempt fate, man.
Because, like, that was the all-time worst. I remember I had just weaned him, and I remember feeling so guilty.
That does sound familiar now.
Man, I wish I would have just waited another couple months to wean him because he probably wouldn't have gotten sick.
This comfort and this like that antibody thing or whatever.
And I was having to, like, pour like liquid Tylenol and liquid ibuprofen and grapefruit juice down his throat because he like wouldn't.
He wouldn't drink it.
No,
he just spit anything you gave him up. Charlie would spit anything you gave him up or choke on it.
And I remember like towards the end, so it took a good week before we could all like kind of get up, stand up at the same time.
Get up, stand up.
And I remember like we were so sick that my mom had to just leave stuff on the porch. I'm very similar to this situation. Like I told everybody, don't come in this house. We are so sick. Leave food on the porch. Don't approach the door. Like
yeah.
And I remember we were at the end of it, like maybe day 6. So it was like one more day, and we were gonna like feel a little tiny bit better, right?
Yeah.
And we all were like laying out on the deck in the sun, like a bunch of like sardines just like lined up. And I remember like Charlie was just laying on my chest, like with just a diaper on or something. And like all we had were like our horrible, gross pajamas we've been wearing for like 5 days.
Oh, God.
I mean, we were so sick. Like, and then Morgan got well first. And so then Morgan became like our nurse or whatever. And I was like, Morgan, get a popsicle. Morgan, go get some ibuprofen. Morgan, go get some more water. Like, I mean,
wow.
I was like,
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway.
That experience is what taught me that I'm a total fucking baby when it comes to being sick.
Oh,
like, I didn't realize how weak I am.
I gotcha.
And so that's why I got scared when I was listening to that lady recount that story.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck. If I get this, like, am I just going to be like, oh, I'm going to throw in the towel. I'm going out.
Would you really do that to me?
No, I wouldn't. But I'm like, I don't want to have to like have that level of responsibility.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you get the COVID,
that's really fucked up.
Guess who's going to be your nursemaid? As per the usual.
What's her name? She was in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh. Guess who's going to be your nurse/girlfriend?
You.
Yeah.
Babe.
Yeah.
And she's a hell of a nurse/girlfriend.
I'll tell you what. If you start talking about throwing in the towel if you get the COVID, I'll slap you around.
You're going to kick my ass. You'll make me regret that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. No, I got a lot to hang around for.
But you got scared for a minute. You were remembering like the horror of the flu.
Then I was like, this is going to be worse than that. And I mean, or maybe you could have it and be asymptomatic apparently.
Yeah.
But like the people who get it are like, oh my God. And you know, I don't know. Maybe those people are all weak, candy asses. Because I do tend to have like a pretty high pain tolerance and threshold and stuff too. But something about sickness and the helplessness of like not being able to escape makes me, the trapped animal that I am, feel like even more of a trapped animal. I can't get out.
I get that.
And so especially when it's like the fever and the fucking delirium, I get bad.
Well, take it from somebody who has had pneumonia while pregnant and has has had the worst case of chickenpox, like known to man. You get through it because you kind of have to go in your pain cave, like during those times. And honestly, the thought of even leaving the house when you feel like that doesn't even come to you. You know, you're just, you go into a different realm.
Totally. I can do that with some things. Like I can do that with like cycling or whatever. Like I could go climb mountains on a bicycle, you know, like the fat ass that I am, like for 4 hours or something like that.
You can. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff I can't do.
And just suffer it out. But when it comes to being sick, I'm just like, Mama, help me, baby. It hurt. But I'm resistant to taking medication and stuff. And so, like,
that's where the slapping around comes in, you know.
Yeah.
Take your medicine. Shut up.
Nurse Ratchet over here is gonna do.
I'll tell you, that's what gets people through sometimes. You know, you get mad and then you live on. I think that's what's going on with my grandma.
Is that where that ratchet term came from? Is it Nurse Ratchet?
What do you mean?
Like that, like ratchet, like a girl who's like.
Oh, ratchet. So ratchet?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that was supposed to be her real name in the movie. It was like Nurse Ratchet. Like her name was like Nancy Ratchet.
No, I know that. Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, did that movie spawn the term Nurse Ratchet? Or, I mean, the term ratchet for somebody who's like a hood rat type of. No. Ratchet? Rat? Is there something like that?
No.
Hit us up on Twitter and let us know where the origin of that term comes from.
I can't wait until we get some Twitter notifications based on something that you have said, because when that happens, like,
you will be exclaiming hallelujah from on high.
You'll be so sorry.
Yeah, no, it'll probably be because I made some horrible like off-color comment about first responders.
Oh, hit me up on Twitter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll hit you up there.
Watch
bucko.
what you wish for.
Yeah. Anyway, you were about to put me on blast.
Okay, so let's go back to the blast.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sorry that you got upset. I mean, I didn't realize that. Yeah. But I got upset, but for a completely different reason. So, like, I do this thing sometimes where I go to sleep while we're watching TV, right. And that comes from many years of listening to the soothing waves of the TV, and that is my pacifier in a way, you know. Anyway, so we were watching TV last night, and I went to sleep.
Yeah.
And that wasn't really my plan. But then
you had other plans.
I did.
I learned later.
I did, but they blew up in my face, and so then I woke up, and you were like, "I've been asleep," and it was like 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "Oh, fuck you! You haven't been asleep. You've been playing Zelda all night long." And so, dude, that pissed me off so bad in that moment. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to sleep.
I'm gonna save this.
I'm gonna save it for the morning, and I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I did.
I played some Zelda. I don't know why I should feel bad about that. I guess like I should have just said, "Oh yeah, I was playing Zelda," and then I decided it was time to go to bed because I climbed this Sheikah tower that I was trying to get to. There's a lot of Zelda going on.
You know, the lying didn't help. I'll just say that. I was all, "Oh, you just lied. I'm going to kick you in the balls all night long." That was my first thought. And I was asleep when I thought that. Okay. So, like, legitimately, though, I was actually, like, nodding off, like, while we were watching the thing, too. I believe you.
And then I woke up, and then I was like, okay, well, she's asleep, but you looked comfortable.
You found a loophole. I get it. I get it.
Loophole?
You did. Yeah, you found that loophole. So I said, "Hey, if you're going to stay up all night like an asshole, don't be waking me up in the middle of the night." Well, so you found the loophole. You just let me sleep on the couch. You stay up all night like an asshole, and then you wake both of us up and we go to bed. See?
So what should I have done? I guess I should have just said, "Oh yeah, I was playing Zelda." And that would have fixed the whole thing.
I think you should have just gone to bed.
Okay, but I didn't want to go to bed.
So why not? What are you doing up all night? What is happening?
Having fun, man. I'm fucking like living it up, living my best life on the fucking video game.
Okay. I mean, it obviously.
You should see my inventory right now. I have I have 6 things of wood. I have
6 things of wood.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And that's the heat that I'm packing.
Wow.
I got the good wood.
Can we discuss that later?
Yes. It's a deal. Your plans from last night maybe can come to fruition tonight.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. I am a lying sack of shit, apparently. So,
well, I'll tell you, if you ever want to make me real, 0 to 100, just tell me one little lie.
Okay.
And I'll be like,
noted. See, what I was trying to do was
I know.
I know that.
I know what you're trying to do.
Well, I know that if you get mad,
I won't
it
sleep.
might be hard for you to sleep, and then you'll be even more mad at me the next day.
We were sleeping.
Oh my God. Fuck, you make it sound so stupid.
No, I get your plan.
I just tried to nicely wake you up and say, let's go to bed,
You did. It was nice. It did wake me up in a nice way.
Fucking punished for being nice. You hear that, folks?
I'm going to give you so much side eye.
I am so on blast.
My eye is going to fall out the side of my head.
I've been put on COVID-19 fucking blast. I'm going to prison.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. This is great.
All right, well, let's get to the topic at hand, shall we?
What is it?
I mean, this is all in the past.
I already fucked everything up.
That was last night.
Okay.
That's
is tonight.
over.
Yeah.
This is tonight.
This is tonight. This is now. This is our lives. These are the days of our lives.
Like the sands through the hourglass.
This must be the place.
Ah, babe. Ha ha. Look at you. Look at you.
Yeah. All right. We slot that right
Fitting
in there.
things in and making plans. Wow.
Using my fucking power of magnesis, picking up the everything Zelda.
I'm gonna use stasis, and I am going to freeze you, and then I'm going to take your Wii and I'm going to smash it with my time delay bomb. How do you like that? I haven't even been playing Zelda, and I already know what to do.
Okay, sounds good.
Stay tuned for more on that, because I feel like it's coming in the near future.
Yes.
Yeah, so this must be the place. So we're on our playlist, right?
Yeah. This is number 6 of the COVID-19 mixtape.
Yes, thank you. That's correct.
Episode 47 overall. I kind of already said that earlier, but I think it bears repeating.
Okay, Bear. Yeah. So
what the fuck? What's This Must Be the Place? I don't even know if anybody would recognize the title of that song. Because I sure didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you're a Talking Heads fan, you probably know it. I'm thinking of 1 or 2 friends of ours that would know it for sure. But yeah, it's one of those kind of overlooked Talking Heads songs that should have been a huge hit and probably really wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it was at the time, but I was just a child in 1987 or whenever it came out. But through watching Wall Street, one of our favorite movies, they use that in the background of going through Bud Fox's apartment, where he has the ultimate 80s posh, luxurious, situation.
Oh yeah. There's a I don't know, a montage of apartment building,
right,
or whatever, right? And there's gold leaf.
Yeah, they go through the apartment. Yeah, he's had the interior decorator, his girlfriend, come in. And
what's her name?
Daryl Hannah.
Oh, right.
From Splash.
From Kill Bill.
Yeah. And it's the height of overdoing it. And he's making his pasta, in his pasta machine, except it's not even a crank machine. It's a electronic, because everything in the 80s you had to have an appliance, you know what I mean?
I think he was making sushi.
Oh, maybe he was rolling sushi?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had some sort of
machine
sushi rolling device or whatever.
Got it. Anyway, I never heard that song until I watched that movie and watched it as an adult.
Well, that's why I think it's probably fairly obscure, because how was my pronunciation of obscure?
Oh, top notch.
Obscure?
Obscure. Yeah.
Obscure.
Is this going back to like the Cure or the Cure?
Yeah.
And the obscure?
Obscure?
I would say obscure.
Obscure?
Obscure.
Obscure.
But, I'm from the South and everything, so I can't make U sounds like I'm from Germany. But,
oh, yeah. So anyway, that's why I feel like, so if you were a Talking Heads fan, right? Were you already a Talking Heads fan the first time you saw Wall Street? When did you first see Wall Street?
Like as an adult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
maybe
were
with
together.
you. Yeah.
Right. And I can't remember why I hadn't watched it up until that point, but then I did.
I think because you're an Oliver Stone fan, like from is it Apocalypse Now or the other one? The Vietnam.
Yeah, Platoon.
The Vietnam show.
The Vietnam show. Yeah.
Platoon. Thank you.
Right.
And
also starring Mr. Charles Estevez.
Right.
Carlito.
But like I think we were just talking about Oliver Stone movies, and maybe that came up, and we were like, oh, like let's watch that. It's got Michael Douglas in it, blah blah blah, and that was probably like maybe mid 2000s. It's
got those Sheens. No, I think it was like early 2000s.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So that song really stuck out to you from the movie, I guess. Well, and it did to me too. But like when I listen to Talking Heads, or when I have listened to Talking Heads in the past, I wouldn't say I'm a fan. Like there are a few songs that I like, but I couldn't tell you like, oh, this is this song, this is that song, and I didn't know that. I still, like a few days ago, when you mentioned it, I know the song, but I didn't know the name of the song. Because I do this thing as like a musician who is like an instrumentalist more, where for forever I'd never paid attention to lyrics.
Oh.
And you're not coming at music from an instrumentalist point of view necessarily. So that's like the thing that you hear and you latch on to, which is the thing that you're supposed to hear and latch on to. But I'm like listening to like the percussion track or like the bass line or whatever, like a weirdo.
No, I mean, I do that too. I mean,
now you do
through your tutelage and everything.
Cruel tutelage.
Your cruel tutelage. But I do, the lyrics are always first and foremost. So like if a song is like great, but the lyrics suck, like I'm just not going to be as into it.
Yeah.
But I do like Talking Heads, and to me, I like their silliness and I like their sloppiness, and like that kind of drives you crazy, I think. Like you actually were the one that you had the Talking Heads, like something more recent, or David Byrne, something more recent that had like crazy drums and horns and all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
like that David Byrne solo album.
Yeah, like 10 years ago. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Wow, I love this. And you were like, this is the guy from Talking Heads. I was like, okay, it all makes sense. And then I went back and listened to 77 and, Psycho Killer and all that stuff, and got back into that. So like this, for me, this song, I think is one of their best songs, because lyrically it tells this like story that I think picks up where their big hit, Letting the Days Go By or whatever.
Yeah.
Like where it picks up, where, like we got really into that Letting the Days Go By song, I think because we got to a point in our life where we're like, wow, like, yeah, all this stuff that you're supposed to be so excited about, like, it's hard to get excited about it when you probably never should have done it in the first place, like owning a house, or, thinking you're going to be rich, you're going to have some certain life or whatever.
Like materialistic culture that we live in, like just totally going all in on that.
Yeah.
And like, that's funny too, because that plays into the whole Wall Street thing. Yeah. You mentioned something that I hadn't thought about either, which is that when we watched Wall Street, I think I might have watched it because you know why? Because I took an economics class, and I think the teacher mentioned the movie in it, or maybe played a clip where Gordon Gekko is talking about he's at a shareholders meeting, and this is a company, Blue Star Airlines or whatever, that he's trying to do a hostile takeover of, but he's not being super hostile yet. And he's like, greed is good. So it's like a big thing from that movie. And so that was like an illustration of like, you know, the whole Adam Smith, like economics, like theory or whatever.
Gotcha.
Where it's like, you know, that the greed of people, the people, you know, people wanting money and stuff like that is actually like what, you know, what makes the whole system work or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be about some like altruistic, you know, idea of taking care of other people or whatever. That actually, if you just like, if everybody just makes and sells shit or whatever, then the whole thing will work itself out.
And to sell, somebody's got to buy, and there's got to be desire and all that stuff.
Yeah. Right. Which, you know, is like not really true or whatever, because it like really breaks down.
Yeah.
Especially like when people like in that movie are fucking manipulating things behind the scenes and just trying to profit off of stuff.
Right.
But anyway, that's probably why.
Okay. That makes sense. And that makes sense that it was in the early 2000s because that's the last time you were in school.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, right around that time, I was also like starting to work, you know, do sales and insurance and stuff like that. And so it's like, okay, well, you know, so I think there's like a whole series of movies now that I think about it that have just like salesy sales scenes in them or whatever, or like things like that where it's just like this crazy kind of sort of evil, you know, economic perspective or whatever that's really twisted. Like Boiler Room comes to mind.
Oh yeah.
Or Glenn Ross.
Yep.
Pretty iconic, you know, amazing like salesy scenes or whatever in those movies.
So I think when we originally watched this with our, you know, like hopes and dreams of somehow gaming the system and becoming, you know, successful or rich or something, whatever that looked like at the time, I think we saw like Gordon Gekko, who's the bad guy, as the inspiration. At least I did, because I love the bad guy, as we know.
You do? You're rooting for the bad guy?
I'm always rooting for the bad guy because they got the best clothes. And Gordon Gekko had the best clothes.
And the best quips, you know. Rip their throats out and shove them down the trash compactor and all this stuff, you know? Yeah. Like he's being cool. He's like, fuck this guy, fuck that guy, you know?
Yeah, it's on the phone, and he's like slamming the phone
talk
down.
At you.
Yeah, I'll talk at you. Yeah. What an asshole. Right. Anyway, my hero. So that was my original inspiration early on. And that goes right along with like Dynasty and, you know, the Carringtons and the Colbys, those wealthy, you know, powerful assholes of the stock exchange world.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Industry.
So the funny thing, though, is like, I think we watched that movie. We watched it multiple times. And like, I think in the beginning, it was all about like that inspiration of wealth. And in the end, it's like you see it from a completely different perspective once you've been screwed over by the system.
Right.
And then you're on the Bud Fox side, which is the Charlie Sheen character, where he's like gone all in, you know, thought he could play the system, got burned, comes out the other side basically as a criminal and just loses everything.
Has to like start over, basically. You don't see that in the movie. Like,
right.
I don't know, watch Wall Street. Like, you know, it's a good movie. Yeah. Or whatever. And it's also kind of, you know, relevant to like the shit that's going down, I guess, right now.
I think so. I to me,
some stuff is crashing and burning, you know.
As much as, I mean, you know, it's like I'm no expert on any of this stuff. I'm no economics, you know, student, right? But talking to people in the last 6 months or a year, I'm like, you know, this is gonna pop. Like, don't buy a house right now. Like, don't. You know, people are like, no, well,
you're such a fucking
you know,
buzzkill, man.
It's true though, dude. Like, how could I not say that to somebody if I cared about them? Like, I mean, the writing was totally on the wall. Nobody could see the whole thing coming. But
well, yeah, not the cause of the the virus or whatever. But
I think my experience in fashion and manufacturing, it gives me a little bit of a edge on understanding how tedious all this stuff is and how like on the edge of total like collapse.
It's just real fragile.
Everything's just
way more fragile than than we realize most of the time. Right?
Yeah, because it totally depends on people. And people are kind of fragile. I think like that's something we like to forget. But
that's interesting. Yeah, so it's funny because I didn't really think. I think you probably connected a lot more to feel, like identifying with the Gordon Gekko character or whatever.
For sure.
But I'm more of like kind of a loser or whatever.
No, that's not true.
So I'm like, oh yeah, man, just getting fucking like Bud Fox, Charlie Sheen. He gets, he screws himself over basically by getting wrapped up in this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then definitely like for us as that changed, it's like the whole movie is not meant to be like some glorification of somebody like Gordon Gekko. No. It's like a cautionary tale.
It is.
Or whatever. And it's like, Bud Fox had his dad in the movie who was played by his actual dad, and Charlie Sheen's actual dad, Martin Sheen or whatever.
Which they actually pull off like a fairly believable, emotional like performance, I felt like.
There's a lot of like Sheen weirdness.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has the whole 80s has like a sheen of weirdness cast upon it.
Don't you mean a nest of
a sheen? Yeah, yeah. Because like, okay, I mean, just to nerd out on Sheens for a minute. So, okay, like Apocalypse Now, Martin Sheen is the main character. Platoon, Charlie Sheen is the main character. Yep. And then they're in this movie to get like, I don't know, wasn't there something else? There's some other weird like fucking Sheen Inception. Sheenception. The 80s was a major Sheenception.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
I just like that their inception was actually that they were all like, of Latino descent, but everybody thought they were white. I thought that was a trick.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like bringing diversity before even anybody was aware it was happening.
Emilio was the only one who like held the line.
I know. He was the only one that was truthful because he was a Sheen, but his real name was Estevez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty silly.
That's right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I get fucked up with them and the Baldwins because there's all these Baldwins.
They're definitely not Latino.
To me, like the 80s is like sort of like a Sheen Baldwin like fucking.
I could see that. I could see that. Oh, but you got to get
battling,
De Niro. He's in there all the time too.
In the 80s?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, probably, right?
Oh yeah. So all right. So that's the Wall Street context of the song. And I think that is actually why the song means anything to us, right? Because let me tell you, we have had a lot of back and forth about this playlist. And the bottom line is that each one of these songs on this playlist has to mean something to both of us. And it can't just be, oh, I like some song and I picked it. And you're like, I don't know that song. I mean, we can't do that, right? This is Team Babe. We have to be on the same page.
It's a team, and I think there are enough songs that we both like and connect with in some way to where that's like doable or whatever. Right. So we're not going to try to like shoehorn some bullshit in here that we just like listened to the other day, unless it's legitimately something that we both are really into or have some like has some meaning behind it or whatever.
And now that we're all like stuck at home, I mean, we have time to talk about this kind of stuff. And I think this song in particular is meaningful because it's like questioning this whole like this must be the place ? Like your home. And I think I can really relate to that because it's like when you put so much effort into like having a certain kind of home or having a certain kind of life in your home life, because you have all these things or because the wall is a certain color or whatever, that you're like kind of creating an environment really based on whatever story you want to tell yourself.
Sure.
And
a lot of that is often like sort of outward.
Yes.
Like this is the story that I want to tell to other people who are looking at this
and seeing it from the outside.
Like the Instagram. It's like,
it's the Instagram
like 2000s Instagram was like
lies you tell yourself and your friends. Yeah, for sure. So like now that we're all like, you have to be at home, right? That you're like forced to kind of spend all kinds of time at home.
Sure, yeah, you have to like reckon with all these decisions that you've made and like this place that you've like either curated or that has just happened because like for me, because it just happened because you did it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm even reluctant to create like a home. Like I mean, I've been burned too many times. I'm like, I'm not hanging stuff up.
I'm not unpacking that box. We're pretty good about unpacking boxes for the most part.
Actually, we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
So
that helps.
Really, truly, I think this house is about us lightening our load, not creating a home per se. Like we're gonna get some patio furniture, and we've been here 5 years, and I have not purchased any patio furniture for 5 years.
Yeah, we have this great little backyard kind of oasis thing.
We do.
And now especially where it's like, okay, well, we're all supposed to stay home for the most part. This must be the place.
Right.
We might as well try to make it, something that we can enjoy more or whatever. And I guess, like that impulse has really been tempered by our experience over the last 15 years or whatever,
I'm really reluctant to like be like, this is the place. Like I'm going to really make the most out of this and be really proud of it. And, I'm going to impress you with my house.
Right.
Well,
and you said something that I thought was interesting too, where it's like, if you read the lyrics to this song that's on the playlist, it's like, home, this must be the place, but it's sort of, you think it's like more of a question. It's sort of like questioning, like, okay. I mean, well, I guess like those words kind of say it all. This must be the place. So you're not like confident in it.
You're not saying this is the place. You're like, this must
be the place. Like, how did I get here? This is not my beautiful wife.
How do I work this?
Yeah. I mean, that's a different song, but it's sort of like
it's the same idea.
It plays into that that concept or whatever.
Yeah, I like I guess I must be having fun because it's like, I think no matter how nice your house is, if you're ordered to stay home, it doesn't matter like how nice your furniture is or how many gadgets you have or whatever, like you're going to want to leave and it isn't going to be fun after a certain point.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, damn it, I just want to get out of here.
That makes me think of that girl that freaked me out.
Yeah.
On Kill Tony. It's like she was, and I think she was still on fucking lockdown. And it's like she literally had not left her room or seen other people for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I've become sort of a homebody, but there's a lot of times when I do want to just like get out and do something or whatever. And then like thinking about, oh, well, actually, this whole thing could go from being inconvenient and like, oh, we shouldn't go out to being like, oh, we can't go out.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
This must be the place, man.
Well, take it from me. I've spent 6 weeks on bed rest, which was basically the same idea as being quarantined, except that people could get next to me in the same room if they wanted to.
Right.
But for me, I could not leave the house basically for 6 weeks, except for going to the doctor. I remember going to the doctor and being like, going to the zoo or something. I was like, holy cow, I get to go to the doctor today? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, you start fucking really valuing the little things.
Yeah. Whatever. Oh, yeah.
But it's like that, that thing that you've put all this work, time, effort, and thought into or whatever, and like curated and made awesome can become like
a prison.
The prison or the anchor that's like weighing you down, the fucking ball and chain, and that's like our experience with the house thing too.
Yeah, that's true.
Where it's like, oh, because we were really trying, but mostly you, because you're the one that has like these concepts or whatever that you try to follow through
these
on.
Dreams. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you got hopes and dreams. We got ways and means. You're kind of the one that like typically heads up that charge or whatever.
Yep.
No blame replaced or anything there. It's just like, you know, not in my normal day-to-day wheelhouse to think about this stuff that way, you know? So,
but you had your moments though.
Oh yeah.
I remember when we found out that we were going to have to foreclose, right? And you were like, damn it, now that we have to leave here, all I want to do is like make it great. I think it's just the irony of the situation, you know? And I was like, well, that ship sailed. Like, that time has passed.
There was a lot of letting go.
We will not
make it
great. We will cease. And so now, I mean, the funny thing about where we live now actually is that this house is a dream house for me too, in a completely different way. Like, I always wanted to live in a little cottage and like have all this like shabby chic shit, and you know, I don't need to have any shabby chic anything at this point, but this is like an old dream come to fruition haphazardly. And there's a lot of things that I brought with me to this. It's a rental house, right? But I will also leave here because they belong to the old dream that is this little cottage downtown. It's the Martha Stewart dream, you know?
Do you think you'll ever be able to, I mean, do you foresee being able to like actually take your dream and like do it again? Like make it a thing?
Yeah.
Like what would have to happen?
In the right situation? Well, I'd have
This is where all my salesman shit that I learned in, you know, selling motorcycles and insurance and fucking watching Wall Street and Boiler Room and Glenn Ross.
Are you trying to close?
Comes in. Yeah. Coffees for closers.
Yeah. Well, I'd have to have a lot of money. I have to be real comfortable.
How much?
What's the
minimum?
minimum?
Some dollars. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, interesting though.
Yeah, I'd have to feel real confident.
Yeah.
I'd have to be real comfortable and confident and just ready to dive back into that realm and feel like, hey man, if I buy this credenza for my entryway, I'm going to have it for life. For life.
What was that Charlie was talking about? Big Boy from Outkast being on Wait, Don't Tell Me somewhat recently or whatever, and he said something about a credenza.
He's like, what's a credenza? Because
Big Boy was talking about his credenza.
Yeah, he keeps his owls on a credenza. I was like, okay, well, let me educate you on a credenza.
Oh my god! Fuck. What now? So a credenza? What's that other thing? That's like in another thing in an entryway, like
an entry table.
I guess is that all a credenza?
Basically.
Okay.
It's just like a kind of a nice looking little table with some, drawers in it.
Well, we can put that query to sleep, I guess.
You mean you're not going to buy me a credenza?
I'm going to buy you an owl. I'm going to capture an owl for you. Big Boy's owl.
Please
I'm going to Atlanta or wherever Big Boy lives now.
No.
I'm stealing all of Big Boy's owls. You heard me, Big Boy. If you're out there watching.
You putting him on blast? Wow, watch out, man. You might get more than you bargained for on that.
Oh, shit. I hope so. No such thing as bad news, right?
Oh, you mean bad press?
Bad press.
Oh, there's bad news for sure.
Lots of bad news. Never mind.
I've been hearing a lot of that.
Scratch that. We're going to edit that out. We'll edit that
out. So speaking of quarantining and the all the details and dominoes that fall down in the quarantine. Okay, first of all, I'm really glad we're not in a long distance relationship because I've experienced you on Zoom because we had a Zoom pre-Easter friends and family sort of a thing that we tried out, which was fun, although you irritated the shit out of me. So, but I digress.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
And
mission accomplished.
I was about to put you on mute. And
are you really going to put me on blast mute?
I was going to put you on mute, and that was going to make you raise your hand.
Oh my god! Well, I did raise my hand. See, I know how to use this shit or whatever.
But you just
I was just like fucking around, like using the chat.
Oh, I know.
Doing emojis, putting my background. I think I was I?
You changed your background like 8 times, and you put your feet in instead of your head. I mean, we're playing fucking Zelda while we were supposed to be talking. I mean, I was like, dude, I'm going to put this phone down and come in there and wring your neck.
And I was complaining about Zoom and saying that we should have done it on FaceTime.
What's up with us Zoom? Who decided to do Zoom?
who decided
Oh,
to do
that was
Zoom.
me, the person that put your chat together. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't have any hostile feelings about it though. That is the really nice thing.
Right.
I've done like my yoga and my meditation, and now I'm just like, I'm chill. Isn't that amazing?
You are super chill now. And I think you were able to, funnel any ill feelings you had into your hatred of me for lying to you about Zelda last night.
That is correct.
So that's good. I feel like I've provided a very good service there.
I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to keep my bitchiness at bay so that it doesn't become a horrible tsunami of bitchiness that no one can escape. I mean, because
you're doing it.
I'm gonna work out again tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Gonna chop some wood.
No, I'm gonna.
That's later tonight. One other thing on the the whole this must be the place, vibe or whatever, is like I've been listening to a lot of podcasts as I always do or whatever, but one that I listen to fairly regularly is Endless Honeymoon.
Yeah.
Which is funny, and it's Moshe Kasher and Natasha Leggero.
They're funny.
They're funny.
Natasha especially. No offense, Moshe.
Oh, jeez. What are you, a Nazi or something? You hate Jewish people?
She's just converted to being a Jew. What are you talking
joking.
about?
Anyway, they do like relationship. They do advice. Like they had a special that's on Netflix. It's funny.
It is funny
where they bring people up on stage and then ask them what's going on and then roast them or help them with relationship advice or a combo of the two. Anyway, so recently with the shelter in place and the quarantine shit, they've been getting all these calls from people who are in various stages of relationships melting down or whatever. A lot of people who were living with somebody that they were romantically involved with, dating or married to, who are getting divorced or want to break up because they have realized they hate each other now or whatever, or can't, they're just not into it anymore. Oh man,
that would be the worst.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
I think that'd be worse than having the coronavirus. Personally,
anyway, that must not be the place, and I'm so glad that I'm not there.
Oh my god, dude!
I mean, we've had a few fights. We've had some shouting matches.
We did.
Well, I did.
Did I miss it? I mean, I
don't think so.
I had a shouting match with you over text.
When was that?
Oh, that was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, what was that about?
See, this is why we don't fight. You can't even remember.
Well, it's I don't see it as
Remember, I said I'm yelling at you through text because we can't have any private conversations.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, now I remember.
Because we're all here.
We're on the fucking interwebs at all times. We're talking with you. We don't talk otherwise until it's time to record the show. We just sit there in silence.
Sometimes that's true. I mean, there are days where that's a little bit true, and that does irritate me.
I'm not a big talker. I'm sure that would shock you to know that, people out there in internet land.
So, today is a special day for some people.
It is. What day is it? Is it what's special about this day? It's Sunday. Sunday is the day of the day of our Lord or whatever,
Right.
The day of rest,
right.
The day of worship.
And if you're Christian, that's
right.
Correct. And this is Easter.
Easter, or as I like to call it, Spring Halloween.
Now tell everybody why you call it Spring Halloween.
So that in my effort to rebrand all holidays, I realized that there's fall Halloween, and that's not really any sort of. It doesn't appear anyway to be a religious holiday.
No.
In some way, there's no worship associated with it. It's basically just candy.
Yeah, unless you're the worship the devil, and
tricks
maybe
and treats.
It's an exciting time.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting for everyone. If you're into Halloween, anyway. So it's sort of 6 months from from Easter from now. Right. I think, right? Like,
yeah,
so
you're right.
You know how, well, I don't know, what's the summer equivalent of Christmas? Would it be 4th of July?
You mean like as far as eating candy goes, or what?
No. Just like the holiday that's in the summer.
Well, everybody says Christmas in July, so I guess that would be July 4th.
Okay.
Christmas in July is a marketing ploy. That's like a time where you have like a big sale, or you like start selling Christmas stuff in July. That's 6 months to Christmas.
So my thing is, I think that like this stuff has all been. Somebody just looked at the calendar and was like, okay, October 31st. Okay, whatever today is, April 12th. Like those are roughly 6 months apart. Like and I know there are all these like fall and spring, fucking phases of the moon or whatnot. Anyway. Easter is spring Halloween because it involves candy primarily.
Yes.
If you're not like particularly religious, it involves like creatures.
Spring creatures.
Bunnies.
Yes.
Maybe like baby deer.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, like fucking ducks. Chickens or whatever. Fucking ducks.
Oh my gosh. This is like... Everything like about holidays for you is like you're from some other planet. Like you've just arrived on Earth. Like I mean, I swear to God, like for so long, this was so hard for me to like digest.
Yeah.
I'm over it though.
I'm the man who fell to Earth and started thinking about holidays.
But I mean, you're like... Everybody's going to send a card today. What a bunch of losers. Like buying into this marketing ploy to sell more diamonds and cards and chocolates and...
Oh, so you're talking about Valentine's Day.
I'm talking about every holiday. I mean, every holiday is an excuse to buy something and give someone something.
Right.
And you're like, you're not going to tell me what to do, man. I'm not going to be giving anybody any diamonds and chocolate. That shit's for losers.
It's kind of funny how that all serves me. Too.
I know.
It's interesting.
That's interesting. Not so much interesting to me because I've got it all figured out. But
right.
Anyway, we went through a lot of holidays over the years where I was like very much irritated and mad at you every single holiday. Okay, and that's a lot. If you want to look at the calendar, that's a lot of days to be really irritated and upset.
Totally.
However, I have finally come to this conclusion that holidays are a construct of humanity, right? We just go, today is a special day, and on this day, we eat candy, and we like bunnies, and we like chicks and flowers, and we get really excited about all of it. Now, if you're religious, it has a different, meaning.
It's got some extra layers, probably.
If you're just used to kind of like getting together with the family and having a meal, and it's a holiday, well, you have a different agenda or whatever, right? And a lot of that is consuming things. So I don't come from a particularly religious background. So for me, all holidays are about what is the tradition of consuming. Okay.
Yeah. What am I supposed to buy?
Yeah. What am I supposed to expect? What are my expectations
at this thing? Yeah.
Okay. So we finally had to have a come to Jesus on the holidays for like many reasons, right?
Last year?
It's like 2 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
3 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
And so now I have come to this weird logical realization that people don't like, that we're like, holidays are just another day.
Yeah.
And people learned this today, unfortunately. This is like a day where you should have gotten together with your family, had a big meal, right? Done the hoopla, gotten dressed up, maybe you went to church,
taking pictures.
Nobody can do any of that stuff.
Right.
So today is just another day. And like
it's sort of like our holidays have been. Right. It didn't feel any different.
Right. And then this year is particularly weird because on Christmas we were in Hawaii and we didn't do anything for Christmas.
Right. We just Indian food.
Went to the beach and hung out.
Indian food in Hawaii. Very Christmassy.
And today was like no different. We did nothing really special. So
totally.
It's an interesting idea. So your spring Halloween is a way for us to recognize Easter, but spring.
Yep.
And
still have fun for the kids or,
fun.
other people who are into it. Because it's just an excuse to get together and have fun. I mean, that's what the whole thing is about. And
we're into that.
We're not particularly religious.
Right. But today we couldn't do spring Halloween.
Right.
So it was just another day.
It's just another day.
That's okay. It was a nice day. It was sunny here.
Yeah,
it was
beautiful.
We did have a little bit of candy.
Yep.
And we had what are those things called? Oh, tamales.
Yeah, we had candy, tamales, and upsettedness over Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. So, but I like the other part of spring Halloween for you, which is the creatures.
Oh, totally.
So you had this idea that the Easter Bunny is supposed to come, right?
Yeah.
And pagan, tradition.
Right.
And the Easter Bunny leaves the basket, and we always had a thing in my family where we'd say that the Easter Bunny was like laying eggs, as it went along the bunny trail. And it was leaving your basket like Santa Claus. It's omnipresent. It can be everywhere at one time.
It's just a mythical creature.
It's this mysticism of like Santa Claus.
Sure.
And anyway, you were like, you're like, that's scary that this bunny is going to be omnipresent in all places at the same time. Like, how is it doing that? And I was like, well, like Santa, right? It must travel by some magical means. And then you were like, oh, like a puka.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's the mythical great Halloween rabbit.
And so a puka, though, is a hallucination, basically.
It's like a fairy or whatever. It
doesn't exist in the real
world. But like the Irish version of a fairy, which could be, good. Could be fun. Could be evil.
Could play tricks on you.
On you. It could be, or it could just kind of be neutral,
Right.
Or whatever. Like I'm thinking of, what's that movie with the puka?
Oh, yes, with Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
What does he say? This is my friend. What's his name?
Mr. Dowd. No, I don't know.
Yeah, like his giant rabbit friend that no one else could see was a puka. But they never say that in the movie.
Right.
It's just his imaginary friend who's a rabbit.
I think they do say he's a puka.
But then when we read the Spiderwick Chronicles, Harvey. Yeah, thank you. Let me introduce you to my friend Harvey. Yeah. But when we read the Spiderwick Chronicles, those books had all kinds of creatures like that, and they had pukas, but they were kind of evil, and they would come and play tricks, and they were like shapeshifters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is what Donnie Darko is based on.
Yeah.
Like that horrible rabbit that comes and visits him all the time that only he can see is a shapeshifter, puka.
Right.
But again, they never say that.
Well, that's another part of the, that we've tried to make traditions out of, is like trying to figure out like what movie is, like what's the Christmas movie? What's the New Year's movie?
Yeah.
What's the we haven't done like the St. Patty's Day and the Valentine's Day movies.
That's true.
We'll work on that for 2021. We'll get back to you.
You mean we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day?
No, we're going to watch a movie.
Are you going to buy me some diamonds?
It'll be so different. Yeah, diamonds are forever, I hear. Yeah, so anyway, the spring Halloween movie is definitely Donnie Darko.
Oh, God. I mean, I have such a hard time watching that, though. I don't know if that's fun for me. I love that movie, but it does take me to a dark brain space, and I feel like that would be dangerous given the current times. You don't think so?
I think you're making too much out of it. I think, like, when you watched it originally, it held more, like, sway over you. You're going to watch it again, I guess, like, in a few minutes or whatever.
Damn you.
And you'll be like, oh, this is kind of fucking cheesy or whatever.
Do you remember what happened to me when I first watched it?
You couldn't sleep or something?
Yeah, I was like 19, right? Or no, I was 20 because we had Morgan.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm like a mom, okay, right? And I got like a baby in the other room. I watched this movie and I cannot sleep. I'm like scared to death. And I remember saying to you, gosh, I wish Sarah was here because like if I'd watched this movie with Sarah, we would have stayed up all night and talked about it. And you were like, I'm just going to bed.
Fucking nailed it.
You're like, that. I'm not scared. I don't know what you're talking about. That's silly.
Yeah.
I spent like 2 months thinking about that movie. Like it fucked me up.
All
like,
because of the rabbit. Like
no,
the weird demonic
not
rabbit.
just not just because the rabbit, man.
Like Frank went to get more beer or whatever. I thought it was all just because of the rabbit. I thought like, really?
Oh no. I mean, the rabbit was disturbing looking.
It's sort of demonic, yeah, and disturbing looking.
But the whole like past and future and how he's supposed to be killed by the jet engine and all this shit. I mean,
yeah,
that like messed me up. That messed me up.
I'm beginning to doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion.
Well, you're probably right. Like I'm trying. Yeah. I'm trying to have commitment to Sparkle Motion, but it's hard, you know, when you're in the middle of a pandemic. Thank you.
What are we in the middle of? What is this? What is this fucking thing?
Oh, a pandemic.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, it's hard to keep the jazz hands.
The Sparkle Motion hands?
Like Jack from Will and Grace.
Yeah. You're doing it, man. You're keeping them up.
I'm trying.
Doing great.
I'm trying hard.
You, Drew Barrymore, Patrick Swayze, the Gyllenhaals.
The Gyllenhaals.
Yeah. There's a bunch of like really good actors in that.
There are.
Or whatever. There's those great songs. There's the Tears for Fears or whatever.
Oh, like how they turn the camera upside down in the back of the bus. I mean, that's like awesome.
I forgot about that.
See,
it's been a long time since I watched it.
You're an auditory person and I'm a visual person. And whatever I see stays in the memory banks till the end of time. And whatever you see goes in one eyeball and out the other. And you only remember the auditory files that you can recall later.
There's definitely something to that.
That must be why we work so well together.
Yeah.
You know, video,
audio, video. We're the AV club, baby. What the fuck does it all mean?
I guess it means we should keep doing those stupid podcasts, right?
I guess so. It sure is fun, and it sure is hilarious.
Are you having fun?
Are you having fun?
No, you.
What's your favorite? Oh, yeah, I'm having a good time.
I'm talking to you.
No, I'm talking to you. I got my eyes on you.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, no, I'm having a good time. They're always fun.
Good.
Yeah, lots of anxiety leading up to them, and then lots of fun during, and then afterwards, I'm like, well, maybe that was a piece of shit.
Well, afterwards, I'm like, I did that.
I'm getting there, man.
We have two different experiences.
I'm going to get on the same page with that. I'm going to be like, treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Yeah, let's treat ourselves when this is over.
Yeah, man. Tricks or treats. Spring tricks or treats. Your fucking arm is dead. Oh my God! Somebody call the police. Spring Halloween took a evil turn this evening.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, did you get everything you wanted to get in your Easter basket, or what?
I did. I got. I got you.
I got you, babe.
Babe.
I got you to hold me tight.
What about you? Did you get everything you wanted in your Easter basket?
I think so. Yeah.
Your spring Halloween basket brought to you, hand delivered to you by the Puka Extraordinaire.
Well, if he came, I didn't see him, so I think I did get what I wanted. It was the invisible bunny delivery.
All right. Well, that's fucking awesome.
Thanks.
Yep. So, yeah, man, spring Halloween. That's it. This must be the place. We're here. We're living in it. We're COVID, man.
We're living it. We're loving 19. It. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, stay tuned for the next song on the playlist.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called I Love You, Babe.
Love you too, babe.